All right, so this is going to be another movie review. This one's called El Cochito, 1960. This is going to be another Marco Ferreri flick. This is going to be one of the. This is going to be the third one out of three movies that he first directed in Spain. I guess the cost of living in Madrid was cheap during Franco rule, so he decided to start his movie career of directing in Spain. I haven't seen the other two. I've seen a bunch of Marco Ferreri movies, but I guess this is one of the better okay ones. I was expecting more since it's from 1960. It's a black comedy, so it's got a lot of dark humor, and I think the ending is pretty good, although the original ending was censored in Franco Spain, so would have been interesting to see that. There are a bunch of bonus features on the disc for the last movie I saw, Seeking Asylum, I believe, and so Marco's a card-carrying Italian Communist Party dude, right up there with Godard and Pasolini. He contradicts himself and says that he says that U.S. scripts are really bad. He calls it the S word, and then they go on to say that he kind of ripped off on 2001: A Space Odyssey after he saw it, and that's where he got the idea for The Seat of Man. So he says Italian films are superior to U.S. films, but then he goes ahead and copies Stanley Kubrick in his 1969 sci-fi movie Seat of Man, which looks pretty good, by the way. I'm thinking I might rate it 3 out of 5 stars, kind of similar to Alphaville, but I've only seen the first 5 minutes, so I can't really comment on that one. I'll review that one next, and I have high hopes for that one as well. But this one was kind of tame. It's about a 70-year-old Spanish dude. All his friends are like invalids. They're in these little go-kart motorized wheelchair thingies that look like little scooters, and they're hard to describe, but I guess his best friend has one of them, and he hangs out with a couple of youngsters in wheelchairs, and one of them is pretty good looking, the female, obviously, and so he tries to fit in with them. He hates his family, so he I guess he taught his son how to be a solicitor, and his son doesn't give him any money during his old age, so he's kind of angry about that because he's obsessed with buying one of these motorized wheelchair cart things, and even though there's nothing wrong with his legs, he keeps pretending there's something wrong with his legs. Then he meets this shyster kind of snake oil salesman guy who sells these motorized cart things for invalids, and the guy gives him a fake diagnosis of having gangrene in his legs as a basis for selling him the thing. So he sells his dead wife's jewelry, and then the son gets a hold of this, and he has a fit, and he recovers the jewelry that cost $3,000 to him, and then the guy starts throwing a temper tantrum. He's like out of his mind. The son threatens to put him in an insane asylum, but with Marco Ferreri, there's always an obsession thing with whether it be Bye Bye Monkey, with obsessed with the monkey, or uh, Dillinger obsessed with, I don't know, the gun, I guess. Uh, Dillinger's gun, and Dillinger is dead. And then there's Le Grand Boff, the obsession is food in that one. So he says that the obsession has nothing to do with the character themselves. It's just a product of their environment, which I guess means that everything is materialistic in Marco Ferreri's worldview. He's kind of a conceited jerk in the interview, and especially to the U.S. Film historian guy who interviews him on the bonus features to seeking asylum, and he just thinks he's the greatest. I don't think he's that great. I'm giving this one 2 out of 5 stars. I thought that, like I said, the ending was pretty good, but I just couldn't get into this movie. I thought it was, another boring European type art house cinema. It is in black and white, and it's got some pretty funny soundtrack. Sounds like The Residents from the 1970s. The census taker soundtrack kind of thing. So that was kind of intriguing. I don't think it was bad as some of the Godard stuff that I was watching, but like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing Seed of Man, believe it or not. Even though I'm not a big fan of Marco Ferreri. I think his best movie so far is Le Grand Boff, but like I said, I have high hopes for Seed of Man. That's going to be like similar to the Grand Boff in terms of quality. So I'll try to get that review in next week. I'm only working 70 hours this week because I'm busy looking for another place. I got to move out of here by the end of the year, which is kind of a pain in the arse, but it is what it is. The landlord here demanded higher rent, and it's not really worth it to live here, given the lack of amenities and the size of my bedroom. So hopefully I can find a place that's comparable in terms of price, but it's going to be tough. I did get my coworker to try to help me find a room in San Mateo, which is where my son lives. So we'll see how that goes. I still don't know how my my stock options are going to play out next month, but we'll see how that goes. And the child support agency, the computer, every once in a while it keeps garnishing wages of all 3 employers at the same time. So it's like I'm paying triple the amount of the normal child support that I'm obligated to pay. And I finally got 2 of my employers to cancel that. So hopefully when I get my 3 paychecks next week, I'm going to have enough money to pay my November bills, although I'm a week late on my car payment. So that was kind of discouraging, thanks to the child support agency here in San Mateo County. But Anyways, I better take off to my graveyard shift and then spend about an hour and a half tomorrow just banging on doors around this neighborhood to see if there are any rooms for rent available, and then probably crash for like 9 hours or so, uh, maybe a little bit more, um, before I do my graveyard shift again. So this weekend I don't have anything except for graveyard shifts. Just gives me time to look for a room to rent as well as time to sleep. So yeah, wish me luck tomorrow. I'm not really keen on banging on doors, but I have no choice at this point, and just trying everything to find a room sooner rather than later. Having to scramble and pay an enormous amount for a tiny studio. It's not my idea of fun Christmas this year, but I do have my son for Christmas. Christmas week, the 25th through the 30th, I believe. So I'm going to try to get my oral surgery done, get my hepatitis shot. So they'll let me walk in there, and then yeah, that's about it. So yeah, I better take off and start my graveyard shift. It was a pleasure doing this review, and sorry that I haven't been doing very many. I've been super busy, but try to get a couple more in next week and move on to some Werner Herzog, hopefully. So yeah, I'll try to get those in next week, and I better take off. Laters.